Speaking of fantasy, let's go. Let's stay right in that topic. The last 2 weeks, we've definitely been focusing on it. Last week, we let you know who to avoid, who are going to be the potential bust. The week before, the sophomore surge, who are the second year players that were going to shine coming into this year. Let's look into some of the fantasies that are the hooked fantasies, some of the rookies that got picked up in fantasy. Yeah, it's like, oh, wait a minute, what kind of party is this? Some of the rookies to look out for in fantasies. I'm gonna throw it to you guys. Who should we be keeping our eyes on?
All right, I'll go first because it'll segue good into your list. I have my first one is Kenneth Walker for the Seahawks. With Chris Carson retiring, and then their number one is Rashad Penny, who running backs always get hurt, so I never think it's a bad idea to have the backup on someone's team. So that's one that I would. You're like in the fourth-ish round. You need or not fourth round, but you're like looking for a running back number 3, 4, whatever. I think he's a good one. My next one. Kyle will like this, is Drake London with the Falcons.
Yep.
They just
don't have
much, so he is what they have, and I think he's a good one. Russell Gage left. Who do they have? Kyle Pitts. I know Mariota is like new to the system, but Mariota's been in the league for a while. I don't think he'll have a problem connecting with those guys. Yeah, so I can see him getting a large amount of the load. What am I trying? Targets. There we go. I'm like, what's the word I'm looking for here? My next one, which is another like, who else do they have, is Treylon Burks for the Titans with AJ Brown gone. Oh, yeah. Who do they even? I don't even know.
Robert Woods.
Oh, they did get Robert Woods, but that's it. Yeah. Like, so he's another one that I would draft him as like a wide receiver 4, 5. Like,
he was definitely drafted to replace AJ Brown. So.
Yes.
Yeah. So they have a tight end over there from Maryland. I can't pronounce his name. It's an African name. Will was telling me about it, but he is shining because I don't even think they have any tight ends. Because I know Jonnu left like 2 years ago, right? Like he went to.
Yeah, Jonnu Smith's in the New England.
Kyle, did you see I put your boy on my list of rookies I would draft in fantasy?
Woods is also AJ Brown. Yep.
Yeah, that's true too. So yeah, Treylon Burks is a good one. And then my last one, Sean, you're gonna like this one. I'm just shouting out everybody's team, is Jahan Dotson for the Commanders.
Let's go.
Boys got hands. That's it. Like, yeah. That's another like wide receiver number 4, 5. Like, I really liked him. I really liked him before the draft. So that's just another one of mine. I would grab him. I mean, you have Terry, and then you have a injury-prone Samuel, so he could very well be number 2 in Washington. So.
100%. I think he is going to be the number 2. Jahan, just to say way off that, Jahan Dotson, I think, is definitely a rookie to look out for. Terry McLaurin's going to be the focal point, so that's who's going to get everybody's number 1 corner. So Jahan Dotson is, absolutely talented enough, and he's going to eat number 2 corners alive, I think. And I've been saying it all off season. Carson Wentz has never had a good receiving core, and he's thrown for 4,000 yards before. Yep. You give him some actual receivers. This dude is, I'm telling you, he's gonna get the yards. He's gonna throw 20 interceptions probably, but he's also gonna throw a bunch of touchdowns, a bunch of yards, and that's what fantasy's all about from a receiving standpoint. And so Jahan Dotson is gonna eat. Definitely, I think for sure. Piggybacking off that. So my list of just real quick.
Oh, I have 2 people that I probably won't draft, but I'll probably be watching during the season and watching on the waiver wire if they start to do pretty good. And Andrew, you are Andrew. How? Okay. One of them again.
Fun on vacation, man.
Going back to the Titans, Hassan Haskins is one I'll be watching out for because Derrick Henry will probably get hurt at some. Again, running backs just get hurt, so I always like to have the number 2. So that's another one. I probably won't draft him, but I'll be watching. And if Derrick Henry goes down, I'm definitely like on the waivers. Like, I know this guy. Another one I'm watching, especially with the lack of depth at wide receiver that the Cowboys have now, is Jalen Tolbert. He's another one that they've been saying has been doing good at training camp.
Hmm.
He's the wide receiver we drafted from South Alabama or something.
Southern Alabama, yeah.
I don't know. But that's another one I'll be keeping my eye on if, depending on how long Gallup's out, and we'll kind of see between like him and Vasher and James Washington, who's going to be that like Cedric Wilson type guy who gets those targets from Dak when we're not completely healthy. So that's another one I'll keep my eye on. Probably won't draft him, but I'll keep my eye on him. If it was a dynasty league, I might draft him, but not like in a redraft situation.
Yeah.
And that is the end of my list.
There you
go. So yeah, I was gonna have Jahan Dotson on mine, but she said him, so I just wanted to highlight off that. But yeah, he's definitely something to look at. So the ones I have, I like Sky Moore a lot. He's the Chiefs receiver that was drafted.
Western Michigan. Yeah.
No, Bobby, it's too hot for that. And then, but yeah, Sky Moore, I think he's gonna fit in nice. Juju has been balling in training camp, and I said all off season as soon as he went there that Juju's the man. His on the field, Juju's a phenomenal receiver. People just sleep on him because of his off the field stuff and TikTok and stuff. But I think Juju's gonna be the number one there without a doubt. I do like Sky Moore a lot, though. You can get him later because I think Juju, MVS are the first two receivers to go for them, and then Sky Moore. But I like him a lot for just probably later in the season build up.
I love that you love him because I got him in Dynasty.
I like him. And then the next one is Christian Watson. He's the second round pick for the Packers. Devontae Adams leaves 140 targets behind. Somebody's got to pick him up. They lost him and MVS, Marquez Valdez-Scantling. So that's a lot of targets that are going to need to go somewhere. And Christian Watson is the guy. They got Sammy Watkins, and that's kind of it. Allen Lazard is supposed to be the number one. I think Christian Watson's uber talented. He went to a small school, so he wasn't like highly touted. But if anybody can make a receiver great, it's Aaron Rodgers. And I think Christian Watson's a great route runner, great hands. He's definitely going to eat. I have him in every dynasty league I've been in because I really believe in him. And then the other one, I'm piggybacking off of last week's list where I said to avoid Deontay Johnson because of the contract issues. I think he's going to have some. I'm avoiding Deontay, but I'm looking at George Pickens. Highlighted it earlier during training camp. The man is a human highlight reel. He's absolutely balling. With Deontay holding out and Chase Claypool with a shoulder injury, Pickens is like the guy right now. So all those reps with the quarterbacks right now is he's eating all those reps in training camp. So that's nothing but good signs for him going forward. I like Pickens a lot. There's a lot of people that said if he wasn't hurt going into the draft, he would have been the first receiver taken. Super talented. So I like George Pickens a lot going forward. And then my last one is James Cook, the running back for Buffalo. I don't think Singletary or Zach Moss are very good. They're definitely not number one running backs, and I think James Cook has the potential to be. Coming out of Georgia, he split time, but Georgia produces great running backs: Nick Chubb, Todd Gurley, Sony Michel.
Right?
That'd be a good dynasty one too.
Yeah, I like James Cook a lot.
You can just put him on your taxi squad and kind of see how it develops over there. Because I agree, their running backs are over there. And I mean, Cook.
Yeah, and it's Dalvin Cook's brother. So if he has any Dalvin Cook in him, I mean, that's absolutely a steal.
Yeah. This guy was at Texas Tech, wide receiver. He was a monster in college. I don't know where he went to, Bobby. If you don't where he went to, let me know.
I'm assuming the Dolphins if Bobby's asking.
Well, yeah, most likely.
But yeah, if he went to the Dolphins, he's too far on the depth chart for me. I don't think they're going to be that pass heavy of an offense. Gesicki, Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, Cedric Wilson are all over him. Miami. That's what I figured. So maybe
in a dynasty situation where you can kind of stash him.
Definitely,
I'm not. If he does anything, but
I'm not drafting him, or I'm probably not drafting him in a redrafted league at all. Maybe in a dynasty league, keeping him stashed, but there's just too much there. They have 27 running backs too that they need to get involved. So there's too much. There's too too many mouths to feed. He's too low on the depth chart for me.
Very
A
true.
lot of mouths to feed and not a quarterback I trust to feed all the mouths. If that makes sense.
Tua. Sorry, Tua.
I don't hate Tua. I just hate Aaron Rodgers. He's not. That's all.
Yeah.
I don't want to fight Bobby.
Tua. He said good problems to have. Well,
Yeah.
sometimes.
I mean, yeah.
Sure.
You look good on paper, that's for sure.
I don't know what's better, having a solid number 1 or 5 number 3s.
I mean, they have.
Who's their number 1 running back?
Edmonds.
I'm talking about
back.
running back. Sorry, I'm talking about running back.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean they got Edmonds, Mostert,
I'm high on
Gaskins.
Edmonds, but
They have like 4 more. They signed a Texans running back. They have running backs for days. The problem is none of them are number 1 running backs. Not a single one. So it's like
I don't
it is
think
a good problem.
Edmonds
I mean,
is as
depth.
bad as you think he is.
Edmonds
Yeah.
was also a backup to James Conner in his last team. So what what has
James
he done
Conner
in his
is
career?
very talented.
Yeah, okay.
I
But-
just feel like this is his chance. This is going to be his chance to shine. As
I know.
a
Didn't Edmonds? They
Edmonds
split.
was the starter in Arizona, and then
Yeah.
James Conner took it from him because he wasn't as good.
Because he's a touchdown machine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's because that boy don't stop scoring touchdowns.
That's all he does.
Hey, excuses are excuses,
I'm
but
not.
he was the backup.
I don't think he's going to be as bad as you think he is. That's all.
He's got to get playing time over
I think
the
he's
other
going to be the
27
number
running
one.
backs.
Yeah.
Looking at their roster of running backs, I think he is number 1.
I mean, Raheem Mostert was an absolute stud for the Niners when he
Yeah.
played. So why is he
Well, I
not
don't
going to
like
be the guy?
Niners.
What?
I don't. This just
Myles Gaskin balls out for the Dolphins when he actually plays. Like they have
When he
other
actually plays.
very talented running backs.
They have runners.
They're all number 2s though.
I mean, that's fair. You could argue that, yeah.
There it is.
I mean, someone's going to be the number 1.
Yeah,
I think
well,
it's going to be Edmonds out of those guys.
Yeah.
Just
We'll
the
see.
way that I've seen the coaches talking and everything, too. It just seems like he's going to be the guy. I don't know. Bobby probably knows better than anybody.
Kyle said, yeah, but people slept on Patterson last year, and look at the trouble that he caused on other teams.
Yeah, but he had like a nice 6-game stretch, and then people figured him out. Because the last 6 games of the season, Patterson wasn't. He was very touchdown dependent, especially fantasy wise. He's not a between the. Patterson's a very unique talent, and he's again not a number 1 running back. So you get all those guys in Miami's can be a great number 2, and they all could have fantasy relevance. It just depends. There's too many to pick from to decide. You're throwing darts at a board and hoping yours sticks. I'm not going to draft 5 running backs from Miami and hope I got the right one. You know what I mean? So it's like I'd rather go with like James Cook, who's only got to compete with Devin Singletary and Zach Moss, who I know aren't the number 1s or number 1 talented running backs. Or I'd rather take like Kenneth Walker, who's got Rashad Penny ahead of him, and that's it. Like
It was like the New England Patriots problem where you had like Ramondre Stevenson and you had
Damian Harris, James White. Yep.
All
The
3 of
Patriots
those.
do that, though, because I had the same issue with Patriots tight ends last year. It was like, which one today is going to be the one? And
yeah, it's good for the Dolphins. It's bad for fantasy.
yeah.
So that's kind of how you got to look at it.
Right. So yeah. So perfect. Is there anybody else that you guys have?
Those are the ones I got. I mean, yeah, those are the ones I like right now. That are, I think, draft worthy. I mean, obviously like Chris Olave, Jamison Williams for the Lions. They should be drafted and they're probably going to play, but I just don't like their quarterback play too much, or they're not the number 1 guy, and so.
Definitely guys to watch, like if they don't get drafted though, on the waiver, just in case someone goes down and it's like, oh, I need somebody in this like flex bad.
Yeah, like Garrett Wilson, Chris Olave. Yeah, I mean they're first round picks for a reason, so they'll definitely be nice. Desmond Ritter's not the starter, so we're not going there. Kyle, I didn't mention Kenny Pickett.
I mean, in a dynasty, maybe.
Rep your
Yes.
team, Kyle.
Stash all the quarterbacks you can in
we
dynasty.
brought up the wide receiver. That's all I'm going to give the Falcons. That was big.
Yo, let's get it. Well, ladies,
thanks for watching. If you like that clip, be sure to check out the other great content from the Let's Talk Football community. And as always, please like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you'll be notified when more great content like this becomes available.